Welcome everyone. It's time to go wild. It's the Time to Go Wild radio show on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. We are also live across the world on hcr923fm.com/listen via TuneIn and via smart speakers. If you want to contact the show, please do so. Facebook or twitter.com/TTGW radio. If you want to drop us an email, do so radio@widneswild.co.uk. Drop us a call 01928 835 291 or text 60066. Start your message with HCR. Messages charged at your standard network rate. That time of the week, it's time to go wild. A very warm welcome everyone. Time to Go Wild Radio back for another week, and keeping me company, the ever so reliable Andy Witchley. Hi Andy.
Hey, evening Colin. I've actually seen some hockey this week, so we're all good.
And to say we saw some hockey, all right. Both, well, for me, Saturday and Sunday, there was a lot of goals to see.
A lot of goals and really good game. Completely unexpected.
Very, very much so. Suppose we may as well find out what the scores were from all the games. Here we go. Time for your weekly roundup of the scores from across numerous leagues. And we start with IIHF Continental Cup action. From Friday, Amiens Gothiques 2, Nottingham Panthers 4. On Saturday, Nottingham Panthers 2, Ferencvaroski TC 3. And on Sunday, Nottingham Panthers 4, Sanderjek Vogens 2. Moving on to Elite League action from Wednesday, Glasgow Clan 6, Cardiff Devils 3. On Saturday, Sheffield Steelers 4, Coventry Blaze 1. Manchester Storm 1, Cardiff Devils 4. Belfast Giants 2, Dundee Stars 4. Fife Flyers 6, Glasgow Clan 4. On Sunday, Glasgow Clan 8, Sheffield Steelers 5. Coventry Blaze 6, Belfast Giants 3. Cardiff Devils 3, Fife Flyers 0. Guildford Flames 1, Manchester Storm 3. EIHA Under-18s North 2 action from Saturday. Deeside 0, Manchester 6. EIHA Under-15s North 3 action from Sunday. Solihull 10, Widnes 5. EIHA Under-13s North 3 action from Saturday. Widnes 12, Deeside 0. EIHA Under-11s North 3 action from Saturday. Bradford 8, Widnes 0. Manchester 5, Kingston 0. Billingham 2, Whitley Bay 1. EIHA Women's Division 1 North action from Saturday. Nottingham Vipers 0, Solway Sharks Ladies 14. Telford Wrecking Raiders 7, Widnes Wild Women 2. NIHL National League action from Saturday. Hull Pirates 6, Peterborough Phantoms 4. Swindon Wildcats 3, Telford Tigers 5. Milton Keynes Lightning 2, Raiders 6. Leeds Chiefs 6, Sheffield Steel Dogs 5 after overtime. On Sunday, Sheffield Steel Dogs 5, Leeds Chiefs 2. Raiders 3, Basingstoke Bison 4 after a shootout. Peterborough Phantoms 6, Swindon Wildcats 3. Bracknell Bees 7, Hull Pirates 6 after a shootout. Telford Tigers 6, Milton Keynes Lightning 2. NIHL Division 1 North Morley action from Saturday. Solihull Barons 4, Solway Sharks 1, Sutton Sting 6, Blackburn Hawks D1 5. On Sunday, Whitley Warriors 7, Solihull Barons 0, Blackburn Hawks D1 6, Billingham Stars 2, Nottingham Lions 2, Solway Sharks 11. And NIHL Division 2 North Laidler action from Sunday. Altrincham Aces 5, Dragons 7, and Widnes Wild 9, Telford Tigers D2 1. And that's a roundup of the results over the last week from numerous leagues that we try and keep an eye on. Come back next week for more here on Time to Go Wild Radio. And after the game last night, I managed to catch up with assistant captain Lee Kemp, and this is what he had to say.
The end of a lively affair between the YKK Widnes Wild and the Telford Tigers D2 North team. Well, I've been joined by the Sheriff himself, Lee Kemp. Thanks for coming, Lee.
It's all right, mate. Thank you.
Well, we'll start actually going back a week to the game in Nottingham. Big game, and actually, I'd say a pretty darn big result.
Yeah, I think we went down there, short bench as we have been for the past few weeks. But I think when we've gone into those cup games, we've kind of just gone in with the mentality of we'll just go in there, play and see what we can get out of it. And we really thought that we could get some. Was disappointed when we played Nottingham here. We really thought we should have won that game. So when we went down there, we took it to them and, just come out short in the penalty shot, really.
I mean, we got the word it was 2 goals down within the first couple of minutes. We're like, oh, heck, hang on. And then all of a sudden, the swingometer started to kick into action, and it was 5-5 at the end of regulation?
Yeah, we, 3-3 going into the third, and then we had a bit of a lapse, and they scored the 2 quick ones. But we still never really, thought that we was out of it. We just carried on going, getting pucks deep, and we got those 2 quick goals. I think it was dippy, and morale was high, and we could have won it pretty much in regulation towards the end. And then, like you say, going into the penalty shots, Jonah did well. But yeah, it's a positive result. It's a point. It's I think the first ever point in that cup competition. So we'll take that. I think we've still got a couple more games to go in that, but I think we really need to turn our attentions to the league.
Yeah, I mean, very right there. That I know we don't want it to be a distraction from the main concern, which is the league. But I mean, against all the teams in the cup competition, the big, I'll say, even matchup has been against the Nottingham Lions in the 2 games so far.
Yeah, I think they're kind of. I don't like to use the term, but they do come up against some big scores in that league. So I think they're kind of our standard, but they're doing well in that league. They go in there very positive, and I think that was the game when we knew that was in that cup competition where we thought we could have got something out of those 2 games. Like I say, the home game was really disappointing. We didn't get anything, but we'll take the point in the away game.
And then coming back to the events of tonight, a fast and furious start. The first goal in 51 seconds. Yeah,
it's quite a surprise because we normally kind of start off a bit slow, and other teams normally get the first goal against us like within the first minute or 2. So it was quite nice. We started with a different lineup of G, MJ, and Biff. So they went out there, they did a job, physical, strong, speedy, and they got the first goal, which was all credit to those 3 guys.
I mean, the goals were pretty spread amongst the side tonight, and we even had Peter Toth getting on the score sheet as a goal scorer. MJ with a goal as well. It was as well as the usual sort of suspects. Oh, Matt Tarpey as well, but again, usual suspects of Danny Bullock and Jakub Hajek, and of course Sean Dipnell. We tend to expect, but it was nice seeing some extra names.
Yeah, I think obviously when we lost the big names from last year, we always need guys to step up at certain times. We can't always rely on, Danny and Dip and stuff. So it's nice, like you say, for, Toff getting his first goal tonight for the season. Ryan, I think, chipped in with a couple. Tarpey's doing really well since he's come in. And yeah, so it's good. It's good that everyone's firing.
And it did get a bit feisty, a few big penalties coming in. And oddly, what we normally expect from our Sheriff is a big penalty, and you only took 2 minutes in minors all game.
Yeah, well, I had a little cheeky bet with Ian, but I turned around and next thing I know, G had already done my job for me. But no credit to G again because, he got a late hit. He didn't like it, and those two were having words. I believe the Telford lad was well up for the fight, but then when it came to it, he turtled. So credit to G, did what he had to do, and I think he's come out a bit harsh at the end of it. I think they both should have gone, if anything, but we'll have to wait to see what the IHA say about it.
I mean, there's a couple of short-handed goals in there as well for the guys. It's always hardest to be on the other end of a short-handed goal, of course. So, but when you put them in, it mustn't half lift the guys on the bench.
Yeah, well, we know with our guys on when we're short, Hadji with his speed and Ryan who likes to blow the zones, and obviously Dippy can shoot and that. And so yeah, even when we're on the PK, we still always get chances, as I say, because Hadji can just go. And I think Dippy got the shorty and things like that. So it's always nice to get short-handed goals. It's like you say, better to get them on the PP, but shorties will do as well.
And whoever's doing plus minus stats, whoever's been sat in the sin bin gets a plus on there. So it's a cheeky way of getting a plus minus.
I'll take it either way, me. I'll take any points I can get.
The shots on goal as well. Almost not quite a 2-1 difference in the end. I mean, actually, the shots on Phil Pearson, the 27 matches those of Lewis of 27. So there was 16 on Johnson apparently. So it was big shooting and actually managing to put them in the back of the net tonight.
Yeah, that's what we always try and do. We've got plenty of guys on this team that can shoot this puck and obviously score goals. And we just seem to, over the last few games, we can outscore teams or outshoot them, but we just can't put that puck away. And so it was, nice to get 9 on the board tonight, and we just kick on now. The next few league games are going to be tough, but I think we got about 6 in November or something and 8 in December. So we've got a busy period coming up. But if we can keep chipping away one game at a time and we keep trying to go up that lead, we've got about 8 games, I think, in hand over everyone else. So, we just take it step by step and we see where we are by Christmas.
I mean, I'll say one of the big moments of in terms of goals was Danny Bullock's in the third. Was it in the second period towards the end? It was like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, put a cartridge in a shotgun and ka-ching, and away it went. Nobody would have seen that.
That guy, we say it to him all the time. Like, if we can get it to him out wide and he just gets over that blue line, he's got an absolute rocket on him. And I think he got 2 of them tonight by doing exactly the same thing. He tried a cheeky third one at the end, which I think just went over the crossbar. So that would have been quite a spectacular hattie if he did get that.
Just having a quick look back now on the season that we've been moving forwards. Excuse me. And it has been a bit of an up and down start with a mixture of cup and league games, so you can't get that momentum in terms of the type of sides we're playing being of a typical D2 game, because you're playing against the D1 side, which are, of course, genuinely stronger. Yeah. How does that sort of change any mental preparations that you would do for the games, or sort of affect the sort of approach to a game?
I think obviously when we go into these cup games, like you say, we're playing these teams that are in a high division, that they've got so much experience on these teams that we almost kind of raise our game to it. And, even though we're losing 9-3 to Solihull, we played really well, and we probably gifted them 3 goals, maybe 4. Sutton losing 3-1, we probably could have even have nicked that game as well. So we always seem to raise our game for these cup games, and it's not that we don't obviously raise them for the league games. It's just something it's not been clicking. The Alty game was quite disappointing, and the Bradford game just before it, losing 5-1, we were really bad that night. But tonight this can only go one way, I think, and I think the boys are starting to click now. It's a new team after we lost a lot of people. We've got new lads in, so it's got to gel. They fitted in well, but we haven't played with them before, so it's going to take a bit of a while. This cup game's probably done us a bit of good. It might not have. We don't really know until the end of the season, I guess. But I think we've only got 2 games left in the cup now, so we can get that out of the way and just focus on this league until April, really.
I mean, Telford are notorious for being good skaters, good passers, and tonight every pass just for the Wild seemed to click. Unlike, as you say, some of the previous weeks, things haven't quite clicked. And going up against a team that are very good, very fast, it was, in terms of the to and fro, very even on the pad itself.
Yeah, we know obviously from Telford last year that they're a decent team. They beat us 3 times, I believe it was last year. And but again, they've lost guys. They've probably lost their first line pretty much. So they're regrouping. I think they're still doing pretty well in the league. But I think tonight we was just better. We were just better all over. I think our goalie was obviously better. Defense were better. Forwards obviously managed to score. And I think we just looked quicker. Like you say, they are a quick team, but things didn't come off for them, and it did for us. So I'm happy with that.
In the third period, you could see a lot of frustrations coming in from Telford, and thankfully, in terms of the Wild's perspective, cool heads remained, and no awkwardness or unfortunate penalties really came into play for the Wild's side of things. And so, from that point of view, I mean, there was only the one penalty, which was a 10-minute with a coming together between Mike Marr and, if I can see it, I think it was Reece Howells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, that, I think if any team's losing about 9-1, I'm not quite sure what it was at the time, but I'd probably be the same where, emotions take over, you don't like certain things, so you start getting a bit chippy. And it was the same in the corner with Biff. They went in together. I think something was said on their part, and Biff's turned around and they've both said it. But then again, they're just covering up, and 10-minute I think was a bit over the top again. I think maybe a couple of minutes maybe for Ruffins, because there wasn't even a punch thrown. But again, like I say, when you're down by that many goals, then you're bound to get a bit chippy behind the play. But I think when we're that far ahead, we don't need to retaliate like we do. So, like you say, in that third period, we'll just take those power plays, and it's shown. We got a few power play goals tonight, and that's how we can hurt teams now.
So it's pushing on next week. We've got another cup game. I think it is next week against Hawks 1, but it's just a case of, as you say, one game at a time. Yeah.
So like I say, we'll just get it out of the way, kind of thing. It will be another good experience. They're doing well, so scoring 9 tonight, we can only go up there and see how we can fare and see if we can get anything out of it. And then I'm not sure who it is the week after, but then we can go into that game and try and kick on from there as well.
Well, thanks for joining me, and keep going. Take that momentum from tonight and push forward.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, there you go. It was plenty to discuss with Lee, and it was worth also having a little chat about the Nottingham game as well. And I mean, you saw some of it online. I saw a little bit of that Nottingham game online, and then seeing how everything re-evolved into what happened last night.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I seen the bad start to it. And then from what I believe, it was just things slowly started clicking again. And the line started working and started pulling the way back into it, and I think that's what we seen last night with the lines clicking again.
Yeah.
First time all season, it really looked as if they were playing as a team. Everything had clicked. It got to a point where sometimes they weren't even looking where the passes were, they just knew. And it was just harking back to last season. Yeah,
it was. It was one of those times where you can genuinely say the magnet on the puck was going to a Widnes stick, and Telford kept digging in and getting more and more and more frustrated throughout the whole game.
I mean, we spoke before the show, and I keep banging on about it, and we said last night as well, that second goal for me was absolutely brilliant, with a cross-ice pass, absolutely pinpoint, straight to Danny, who just, as we found out and as Kempy mentioned in that, has just got an absolute bullet shot on him.
I mean, for me, that first goal going in was just one of those ones where players were getting themselves into those open positions, just managing to get that space, and MJ manages to just get in that right place at the right time and tips in. And even right at the very end, that the 50-minute goal with Matt Tarpey, they've managed to pull the goaltender out of position. Everyone's in the right place, and next thing he just has to reach. And the number of times we've seen those tipped wide.
Yeah, and the big one I think for me last night was the start.
Yeah.
it was nice to be on the other side of a fast start.
Yes. I mean, both teams came out of the blocks very, very quickly. It was a very fast-paced game last night.
It was, ridiculously quick. I think I was home 20-8, which, considering the amount of penalty minutes that were going on.
Yeah, but in terms of penalties, there was a lot of minutes, but all in all, there was actually only, in the bulk of the game, 12 penalties.
Yeah, there was a bit of a party in the penalty box at one point.
Yeah. There was a moment where Phyllis Nelson should have been getting played because it was getting a bit busy for you.
Yeah. When we start running out of room in the penalty box, you know it's a busy night.
I mean, there's nights where the poor Haribos gets absolutely battered, and I think last night could have been one of them.
Well, as we know, hockey players aren't small. I'm not exactly small.
No.
Sort of four of us in a penalty box is not really working. It actually got to a point last night where the players were getting stuck trying to get in and out.
But it was a little glut of penalties at one point, and all in all, I mean, the first period there was 3 penalties in that, and the second period there was Chris G's match penalty, and then a minor for the Wild, and the 2+10 on Telford. It was only really the third period where it got busy.
Yeah, and fair play to Chris G as well for stepping up.
Yeah,
I've never seen him go before.
Well, it will feature later on the highlight reel. It'll be uploaded after the show, and you can re-see what happened from the perspective of the camera.
And I think just while we're mentioning certain things that went on last night, obviously there's Chris G with the incident of the fight, but on a different side of things, young Mr. Ratcliffe.
Yes.
He didn't get MVP, which. Yeah, that's fair enough, but what a game he had.
He played an absolute blind. I mean, he cut through a few players, got through that shot on goal. He made an entire play, just ground it out and kept going, didn't stop, and all night, every shift.
And I think it shows as well, obviously now Mike's back and they're starting putting things together and they're obviously working in training. I think he's grown through the season as well.
Yeah, has. And some of the plays last night and the two short-handed goals.
Yeah,
it's horrible to be on the other end, but when you score one, to score 2 back to back, something was really clicking there.
Yeah, and they just didn't know what to do with Hadjek last night.
No,
I mean not many teams did. He was a nightmare when he played against us.
Oh, just terror every time we saw Hadjek on the ice when he was at Altrincham. Because no, don't leave him high, don't let him go. No, here we go.
But again, there was points last night, and it just looked like he was dancing around them for fun.
The guys look well. It's one thing I've noticed with hockey players is when they're relaxed. The term snatching at the stick. They're not snatching at their stick. They're playing. And last night, the rub went to the Wild, and they were not snatching at their sticks.
Yeah, because this is what we said in the previous weeks with the shots.
And yeah, the shots were going in thick and fast in the right places last night.
It was unlucky not to be in double figures last night, and against what is a good Telford team. I know they were slightly short last night, but they're still a good team. They've
got some familiar names. There's Connor Gordon. Where are we? Matthew Price, Liam Priest, an old familiar name to many Wild fans. Philip Super. Scott Venus and Adam Andrews, a very familiar name to a lot of people who
never heard of him.
Names. No, that's sort of Ads Andrews, yeah. But yeah, I mean, trying to put a puck through the glass and wake up Steve Aspinall before the game.
Yeah, and on that note, thanks to Dippy to terrifying me and Ian Lorenz by smashing his stick against the side of the penalty box when we weren't looking. Just out of nowhere, absolutely jumped out my skin on that one.
And Pucker was up to his usual tricks of trying to get people with ice. He missed me.
Yeah, I did see him aiming quite a bit.
But Pucker was back to his mischievous self, I must admit. But yes, a very entertaining night. Noisy crowd. Big crowd, and I must admit, take away the goals because they're big, but to watch the actual pace of that game last night, that was fast.
Yeah, that would, that from what we've heard about the Leeds game, I think that would surprise quite a lot of people if they watched that game back last night.
Yeah. It especially for, I mean, the Leeds game was very, very fast comparatively, but that was fast, that game last night. But we shall continue on in a moment, because first I have an announcement. Oh.
Always worries me when you make them noises.
No, I'm not going evil. No. Our very own YKK Widnes Wild Women announced the return of a player for the season. We weren't sure if she was going to be playing for the team this year, but she's due to circumstances, a turn of fortunes means we now have the pleasure to announce the return of Daisy Lloyd Hazelgraves to our Widnes Wild Women. Welcome back, Daisy. She was actually playing at the weekend, and if you've kept your eye on the social media postings, you'll have seen that Daisy was announced with a nice picture and signing online. So big welcome back to Daisy for our YKK Widnes Wild Women, who will be in action in a few weeks' time at Planet Ice Widnes. Oh, I know, I can't help my chuckle sometimes. I go part Terry Wogan and it comes out wrong. While I get myself together, I think we'll have a bit of the levelers. Because after last night, it was a beautiful day. Okay, don't forget, of course, you've got all your usual information on social media. Widneswild.co.uk for the club. We have Facebook and Twitter.com/WidnesWild for the club. And TTGW Radio if you want to contact the radio show. We have, of course, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, I should say, Instagram.com/WidnesWild Official, and our YouTube page, YouTube.com/WidnesWild Ice Hockey Club. Sorry, it's not a bit short of that one, but we tried. So it's YouTube.com/WidnesWild Ice Hockey Club, where you'll find your podcasts and highlights. We can also check out the Widnes Wild website if you want to look out any sponsor information or fan zone information, especially things like the own and loan shirts. If there are still a few available, nice Christmas present. Though you don't get it in the season, it's still a nice Christmas present to have available. They're £80 for a home or an away shirt and £60 for a warm-up shirt. Finally, of course, we have our big thank you to all of our very valuable sponsors. Our headline sponsor, YKK. Our penalty box sponsor of the Sepsis Trust. We also have Sprakes & Son of Widnes, DMH Tyres, CL Woodworking, Blast and Paint Stripping, and Bespoke Conversions of Widnes. And of course, you always hear us with our chosen charity of Stick and Step. Andy, what's coming up in the fixtures?
Oh, we've got a lot. Bear with me. Saturday 23rd of November, we've got Widnes Under 11s v Billingham Under 11s. That's 6:15 face-off. Widnes Under 15s v D-Side Under 15s at 7:45. Sunday 24th of November, we're back in the Cup. Widnes Wild v Blackburn Hawks D1, 5:30 face-off. Saturday 30th of November, D-Side Under 15s versus Widnes Under 15s at 6:30. Saturday 7th of December, Widnes Under 9s Cross Ice Tournament at Widnes, 6:15 start. We've also got Blackburn Under 13s v Widnes Under 13s, 4:45. D-Side Under 18s versus Widnes Under 18s, 6:30. And Telford Tigers D2 to Widnes Wild, and that is a 7 o'clock face-off. Sunday the 8th of December, Widnes Wild versus D-Side Dragons, 5:30 face-off. Again, looking forward to that one. Saturday 14th of December, Solihull Under 15s v Widnes Under 15s, 6:15. Widnes Under 11s v Billingham Under 11s, again 6:15. And Widnes Under 18s v Manchester Under 18s, 7:45. Sunday 15th of December, the Widnes Wild Women v Solway Sharks Ladies at 5:30. And Solihull Barons, again in the Cup, against Widnes Wild, 5:30 face-off in Solihull.
So the 15th of December, you have a choice of games. You can either travel down to Solihull or you can stay and watch the women's team playing Solway Sharks. Should be plenty of choice that weekend, especially, and this weekend, of course, junior hockey on the Saturday and then cup hockey on the Sunday. It's a busy time, busy month.
Yeah, it's an odd one for me. I've got some friends coming down who are Blackburn D1 fans, so they're making the trip just to come and annoy me.
Well, extra noise then, isn't it? Makes the atmosphere that bit bigger, bit louder.
With a hat to rival Shutty's Wolf hat.
Oh. Andy Short, is that challenge accepted, I hear? I hope so. I really, really hope so. And that piece of music now means we're going for a trip to the naughty step to see who's been good, who's been bad, and who's been a goalie. Who's on the top of the list so far, Andy?
So Carl Graham of Bracknell Hornets receives a match penalty for a late hit in the NIHL South 1 game against Raiders on Saturday, November 9th. Suspended for 3 games with 5 penalty points.
Dear. And we've got Altrincham Aces Andy Dunn given a match penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Spitting, oh dear. Against Bradford Bulldogs on the 9th of November, suspended for 3 games with 5 points on his record. He's missing games on the 17th, 23rd and 30th of November.
Yep, Cy Furnival of D-Side Dragons. Can't believe he's on this list at all.
Oh, no.
Never.
Angel.
Never.
Young Angel is Cy.
He was assessed a match penalty for kneeing in the North 2 game at Telford Tigers on November 9th. Suspended for 2 games with 5 penalty points. He's going to miss games on November 17th and 24th.
And then we've got Solihull Barons Richard Crowe picked up a match for unsportsmanlike conduct in a Midland Cup game against Sutton Sting on November 10th. He's got a 2-game suspension, 5 points, and missed games on the 16th and 17th of November. So he's back in action this coming weekend.
Yeah, Jordan Barnes, Whitley Warriors, has given a match penalty for fighting in the North Cup game against Murrayfield Racers on November 10th. Fight against an unwilling combatant, and the player is suspended for 4 games, 5 penalty points. Misses games November 16th, 17th, 24th, and December 1st.
Oh, unwilling combatant. Oof. And the last one is from the under-20s. Benjamin Marples of Sutton Sting has received a match for pulling the face cage off an opponent. Oof. Suspended for 2 under-20s games and receives 5 points and misses under-20s games on the 16th, which he's already missed, and the 24th, and is not eligible to play in any other competitions until the suspensions are served.
We used to do that in American football, though, when the ref wasn't looking.
The cage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cage him to the floor. Yeah.
Mind you, I know it's a slight tangent on American football, but did you see the news about the American football player that clobbered his opponent with the opponent's helmet?
No.
Yeah, there's a big coming together in the NFL where one of the two players have come together in a bit of a melee bit, and he's managed to rag his opponent's helmet off, and then he swung it back and clouted him on the head.
That I've seen it done before, actually, in our league when I played.
But no, the one about the face cage, I remember hearing about. Sorry, listener, it is another Hull story, but it was actually down in Solihull, and one of the Hull players managed to do a 2-punch manoeuvre on a face cage player. First hit took the cage off. Second hit in the mush. He did get thrown, and a question was asked. Why'd you do that for? He said he was rude.
wasn't Perry, was it?
No, it wasn't Perry who did the hit. It was Davy Phillips. But it was just one of those things, you know. There you go. Boof. Take that, you were rude. And coming from Dave Phillips, anyone knows Dave Phillips, then there you go. That means it's time for the news. And what have we got in the news this week? Well, there's a lot going on. We shall open first with a reminder. It's with respect to Chantal Cliff and the lad Ollie Cliff. He's having his hair cut in aid of the Little Princess Trust. He's been growing his hair recently because he wants it to look like the hockey players he loves supporting. It seems the mullet's back in hockey at the moment. And as such, he's decided he's got to a length where he's going to get it cut. So if you check out the Facebook page for the Time to Go Wild radio show, facebook.com/TTGW radio, you'll find the article there that should hopefully take you through to the Just Giving page. And it is a very good trust. Some of the guys have done that as well. Wasn't it TJ?
Best do it.
I think TJ did it as well, didn't he? End of the other season. Got his hair cut.
I don't know.
It was at the end of season 2.
He did. Yes, you're right.
Bit of para ice hockey news. They're underway in Germany for the World Championships. They've already faced Slovakia. They face Russia. No, they face them today. They face Russia. Tomorrow they face Germany at 6:30 in the evening. Then they face Poland on the 21st and China on the 22nd. So best of luck to them. Big game coming up in May. Andy.
Yeah, so Great Britain will face Team Canada. Woohoo! In an international challenge game in preparation for the International Ice Hockey Federation World Champs in Switzerland. Just trying to find. So, Tuesday, 5th of May 2020. And I believe tickets are currently on early bird, aren't they?
Yes, tickets are...
So, an adult at the moment is £40, concession OAP and under 16 is £25, and that is until the end of February when it goes up to £60 and £35, and I can see a wild day out for this one.
It's tempting, it is tempting.
Getting to watch Canada.
I have seen a version of Team Canada, but it was more the Tourers. It wasn't the NHL Team Canada. It was still a high-grade Team Canada. And even at that level, it was it was just blow away. It was phenomenal. The skill level just unbelievable.
Yeah, where are they playing? I believe it's Nottingham, is it?
Yes, it's at the the Motorpoint NIC, the National Ice Centre, the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham.
Yeah, definitely a day out for that one.
We also have some more international hockey news from Ice Hockey UK about the GB women's team, and it is the GB women are in action in March and April in Jakarta for their preparations for the World Championship Division 2 Group A, and they'll be facing the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, Spain, Chinese Taipei, Mexico and Latvia. So best of luck to them. And I think that almost about brings us to the end of the news for this week. Yes. Plenty of things covered for another week in the news. Lots of international action going on, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't watch enough international hockey, to be honest with you.
I watch, the main time I've watched the international hockey is the Olympics. That is really worth watching. I still remember being in a pub on Beverley Road, one of the I think it was the Wetherspoons pubs. The other pubs are available on Beverley Road when it was the Finland-Sweden game for the gold medal, and we were supporting Sweden.
I think the thing is, at this stage of the season, you're just so wrapped up in club stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the Great Britain-Canada game will be a good one, because it's right in the middle, just after the off-season.
Yeah, we've had playoffs.
We've had playoffs, it's all been done. Because I think they are early April?
Early mid-April.
So, we're going to have had a month with no hockey.
Where are we? And, of course, don't forget, ladies and germs, and dear listener, that, of course, we have the playoffs, to which it is the Laidler playoffs are the 4th and 5th of April.
There you go, yeah.
And so are the Wilkinson playoffs, 4th and 5th of April. So, yeah, it's about a month after playoffs. You can still get a bit of a hockey fix, as well as rec hockey. Of course, there's plenty of rec hockey going on throughout the year, and if you're interested in any rec hockey, check out details with your local rink. Of course, playing out of Planet Ice Widnes, we have the Riverside Raiders, the Halton Huskies, and the Earl Road Elks, and they have scrimmages and practices and trainings going on throughout the year. If you're interested in any details for those clubs, thinking of playing a bit of rec hockey, then check out their details online. Look up their names on the social media outlets, or just pop into Planet Ice Widnes for the Widnes Base Clubs, or of course your local rink wherever you are in the country. You might get the bug, as people do, through Hockey Basics or whatever you're doing with your hockey life.
Don't get me wrong, I love hockey, but I don't have the bug to skate. I just can't do it.
I don't know, you did pretty well at that blind ice hockey session. You're looking very comfy, very competent with a stick and going round the ice. It was...
It's all an illusion. It was another fat man on skates, don't worry.
That's what I was saying to Terry. No, they didn't. It wasn't me. It's a pigment of a mental aberration. Well, the table.
Bulldogs got beat, didn't they?
They did. And although our YKK Widnes Wild might be 7th in the table at the moment, if you do the potential maximum of who would top the table based on potential points, the team at the top at the moment would be the Hull Jets, with a potential max of 52, and joint second, it's Bradford and Widnes. So do not despair.
Well, we've got 2 cup games left.
Yeah. We've
got Hawks D1 this week, and then we've got Solihull 15th December.
Yeah, that rounds off the cup. December.
And then it's all league, and we'll start making up some ground then.
Yeah, so unlike last year where we had a bit of a gap, and we were able to sort of take that, let everyone try and play the catch-up.
Yeah, that's what
this year it's...
we were saying it was earlier, weren't we? Because it was nice when we got that gap in front, because all of a sudden the other teams are looking at it and worrying because we're putting that gap in and we're disappearing off. I mean, I know at the moment, games to hand, you wouldn't know that we had the gap, but this year we're chasing.
Yeah.
And it just makes it that little bit more difficult.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. It's difficult, but then it becomes a challenge, and then the tension arises, and then the atmosphere builds, and everyone gets noisy, and let's hope it works in our favour. Guys, they're going to need you. The team's going to need you out there to cheer them on, keep those legs going.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't know about the... it just seemed a little quiet last night for a good win.
Oh, yeah, but it was noisier than past couple of weeks. The noise was coming back. You could feel it. I do have to give a big shout-out, actually, to our under-13s for their performance at the weekend. And they were playing D-side, and the score at 12-0 was a genuine 12-0. Those listeners out there who might understand the introduction of the mercy rule that came in, at under 11s, it's when it's an 8-goal difference. Under 13s, under 15s, and I think it might also apply under 18s. It's a 12-goal difference, so when that extra one goes in, they stop the statistics. But the game actually genuinely finished at 12-0. And it was a really good game all in all. I mean, both teams skated well, but for a team that's only in its second year of playing league hockey, to get that win and a big win at home, it was really, really nice to see. The kids are going out and having fun, and even the kids from D-side, they were all tired, but they'd all kept going for the full game. They didn't give up, none of them.
Yeah, and at that age, it is just about having fun.
Oh, yeah.
But it's nice to see that they started to put some good scores in, some big scores in.
And, of course, this week we've got under 11s and under 15s, so it's a double header. All the fun starts 6:15 face-off for the under 11s, and then because of the way under 11s works, we might get a little bit of a leg stretch before the under 15s take to the ice at 7:45. So it's a busy night on Saturday for junior hockey, and then, of course, the YKK Widnes Wild back in action against the Blackburn Hawks.
Yeah, and not long till the under-9s cross ice either.
No.
The mini Wild.
Oh, and even if you just come in for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you could end up staying for the whole thing. The under-9s it's just mad. They're just... I don't know what the kids have inside them for energy levels, but they don't want to stop.
Skittles and other sugary sweets, I'm assuming.
Oh, I think that they must be sugared up to whatever the hilt is, because even when they're not on skating, they want to keep skating. They just don't stop, and it's called the Jonkers rule, so it's timed buzzers so that they change their lines up so that they keep the kids all get an even amount of ice time. But depending upon how many of the teams are under nines, if you've got 4 teams, you'll usually have 2 games, one at each end of the rink. So they're constantly playing. If you've got 3 or 5 or 6 or whatever, and you can't have just the 2 games, you'll have a sort of a skill session or something going on in the centre ice. So the kids don't stand still, not sat still. And they just keep going. So they've no sooner finished the game, and depending if they're doing a skills session or just a general little bit of skating while the next game's going on, they don't sit still. They're still skating. And then they go and do another game. They're amazing. I wish we could bottle the energy. I genuinely wish we could bottle it. Because you'd be rich. You genuinely would be rich.
Well, that's why we have the sweets in the penalty box for both teams, by the way.
Oh yeah. No favouritism on the sugary comestibles there. That's why some players take penalties, I think. They're coming for sweeties.
But as daft as it sounds, they need it.
Oh yeah. I mean, anyone out there who's thinking of, they go out and do so long, just think about the actual speed at which you're on that ice for, and then when you start seeing players who double shift, and I mean, we actually had guys the other week who did an under-9s tournament game in Altrincham. As we were saying last week, the kids had played an under-9s cross-ice in Altrincham, dived into the cars, back down the motorway to play under-11s. And they didn't look shattered at all. They just kept going.
Yeah, but I could do the same when I was a kid. Now I'd struggle to walk from the car park to the studio, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I know. My poor knees are from work having to climb up to the 4th floor. My poor knees are like jelly by the time I get up there.
Especially after defrosting the car before driving in tonight.
Yes. So, yeah. Oh, and public service announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, please, in the morning on your way to work and on your way home in the evening, please put your lights on. I counted over 20 cars this morning at around 7:30, 7:45 going into work. No lights. Please. Just because you can see us doesn't mean we can see you. We do want you to be safe. We want you to get to the next ice hockey match, of course, don't we? Andy just chuckling. A quick one. You've got some motor racing fun coming up, haven't you? Or it's rallying you're looking at again?
Oh, yeah. So, I work in motorsport rescue outside of the ice hockey. So I'm trekking off. The circuit season's finished now. So the hobnobbing with all the famous celebrities is gone.
Oh.
And off trekking out into the woods in Wales.
So now you're going to basically be stuck in the mud.
Yeah, but before that we've got Blackburn next week, which I'm really looking forward to now.
I am. It's a couple of old faces I think we're going to see as well.
Potentially
yes.
Some old faces, but
one of whom this year I think his penalty minutes have been through the floor.
He's having a good season, I think, Mr. Greaves. But no, I mean, before, the last couple of weeks, we had a couple of losses. And, all right, yeah, it was a close game, the last Blackburn game we played them. And the scoreline didn't reflect it.
No.
But I think the way the guys played last night, the way they bounced back, if they can play like that, if Blackburn even has a slightly off game, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. It's just nice to see the guys playing with their heads up, playing relaxed, being able to move around the ice, not snatching at the sticks. And that's when you start seeing more fluid plays. And the plays last night, the power play manoeuvres, the penalty killing, the short-handed manoeuvres, everything was just fitting together last night.
The Chris G punching manoeuvres.
The only unfortunate one was he didn't score 5-on-3. We did have a 5-on-3 moment, and I will tip my hat to Telford. They did really well on that penalty kill. Yeah,
I mean, the only thing that let us down last night was power plays, which is so strange considering as well when we got 2 short-handed.
Yeah. That is an irony sometimes when you can't score power plays but you score 2 short-handed goals. And there was only 1 power play goal in the game, considering the number of power plays in the third period. It was like,
But that's again credit to our lads as well, because we did take. To be honest, I don't think we took too many penalties where there wasn't Telford in the box as well.
Yeah. I mean, there was I think it was 2 or 3 minors, and that was it. So when you look at the penalty minutes table. If you look at where the penalty minutes table are, Widnes are 7th out of 8 with only 127 penalty minutes. Okay, it's still only from 6 games, but if you want to put that into another perspective, penalty minutes per game, where are we? We're 5th, 21 penalty minutes a game. So it's pretty okay. We're not heavily in the bin, but taking a reasonable number. Telford actually, even though they've had a lot of penalties at one point, 22 penalty minutes a game.
I think, to be honest, generally Telford are quite a clean team. It's just last night didn't help.
No, it didn't. But still out at the lead, Sheffield Senators and Bradford Bulldogs in over 30 penalty minutes a game. Ah, dear.
D-side in third, so that's going to make it interesting in a few weeks.
The cleanest team, Blackburn Hawks D2, sorry. 10 penalty minutes a game. So it proves that they're out there playing hockey. They might not be getting the results, but they're not sitting in the sin bin either. So credit where credit's due there.
I really want them to get a point.
I do, but not against us. Sorry, guys.
Not happening.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, all's fair in love and hockey. All's fair in love and hockey. Anyway, that's about it for another week. Time's come and got the better of us. The final buzzer's about to go. Busy weekend ahead.
Nice quiet one. For once.
Busy for me. And, of course, back on Thursday with the Whiteboard Part 5 of music. If you listen to the Box of the Lights on a Thursday, you'll know what that means from 9 o'clock here on HCR. Of course, Time to Go Wild will be back next Monday with more of a roundup of your hockey news across Halton and North West. I'm trying to decide what to play out with. I think I'm going to go with a bit of Jesus Jones, an international bright young thing. Andy, thanks once again.
Always a pleasure, mate.
From me, from everyone here as well, have a good week, take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you next week. From Time to Go Wild, good night.